Hi, everybody. How is it going with you? Thank you so much for joining us for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. I'm Yvonne. How's it going? A few sessions ago, I wanted to start this by asking you, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How is it going? It's been a stressful few months, hasn't it? And one of these times I told you how I had decided to every month, for the longest time I was just kind of going on autopilot. But now, every month, because remember, I don't care if you're retired or not, we are all on a fixed income, right? So I put down the amount that I can expect from my paycheck. Okay, put that over here. Now, go down the list of my bills and just make sure, because got to take care of housing, food, utilities. Yep, got to take care of all of that. I have to take care of insurance, but I also have to take care of saving, putting money away. It's tax season and we owed money, and because I had put money away, I didn't have to worry about scrambling to pay that bill. And it was kind of ouch. It kind of hurt to write that check. But like I said, I put money away. I'm going to back up just a little bit because when I wrote down the amount of my paycheck, that is my net. Okay, so I'd already put in my 25% for my retirement, putting money away. It was non-negotiable. You want to live well now, of course, but you've got to take care of yourself for the future. I was just reading some story. Someone 73 years old, and he and his wife are surviving on like $3,200 worth of Social Security. He hadn't put any money away. He wasn't still working, but attempting to live on $3,200. And I don't know about you, but I don't wish to rely on the government to pay my bills. You have to take care of yourselves. It's just it has to be done. It is non-negotiable. Social Security is wonderful. We're all putting money into it, and we deserve it when we retire. That is our money. We need to get it, but it can't. It just simply cannot be your entire source of income. It was never meant to do that, even when it was created in what, the 30s. I have to look it up. I'm just kind of blowing that out there. I'm not 100% certain when money was put away for Social Security, but it was never intended to be your one and only source of income. Okay. And speaking of sources of income, one of the things that I was reading about, I'm always looking at money magazines, money posts, things like that you find online, just to kind of see what's going on out there. What are other people doing? Just kind of looking at that, right? And there was something from one of the financial gurus who said, if you're 62 years old, you need to be taking your Social Security now. And I was like, whoa, hold up, hold. That's not quite accurate. If you were someone who retired early, and if you didn't need that money, okay, that might work for you. But keep in mind, those of us who are kind of tuning into this, we aren't making that large salary. I'm not making six figures, and I'm guessing many of you aren't making six figures either. So whatever money we get, we need that to live. Okay. I know my sister contacted me one day. She's working, and she is approaching that 62, and she says, well, can I collect the Social Security? I'm 62. She's not, but she was planning for it in the future. And I said, hold up, you are planning to continue working, aren't you? She said, yes. I said, don't take that Social Security now, and here is why. Because if you make too much money, you will get penalized. and your Social Security, that check you were looking for to kind of have some extra money, is going to get deducted. Okay. Again, if you make too much money, that Social Security is going to be withheld. And people don't seem to understand that. Like I said, I'm reading financial things on a regular basis. And so I'm like, wait a minute, let's take a look at this. No, you really can't afford to do that. Now, when you hit full retirement age, and for most of us, that's going to be 67. Once you hit full retirement age, if you are still working, and then you decide to start with Social Security because now you're full retirement age, and so now there won't be any penalties for taking it. So you've got your income and your Social Security, but not until 67. And people aren't reading the fine print and kind of running into trouble. I know a dear sweet lady several years ago. She was on early Social Security. She took it, and she took a job working for a family with children. And when she reported that income, it wasn't until it was already over and done she realized, oh no, I've made too much money, and this isn't going to be a good thing. My Social Security is going to be deducted because I made too much money. It is one of those things we really have to stay on top of the rules and read all you can. Just make sure that you've educated yourself. It's really important that we know the rules, because you can bet your bottom dollar you might not know the rules or might not have educated yourself. But on the other hand, you're coming up against others who do know the rules and will keep you to account, hold you to account on what those rules are. So just keep that in mind. Just know what you're up against, and know once again that if you're going to continue working, no, don't get Social Security. Wait until you're 67 years old, because right now that could change in the future. But as of right now, 67 is your full retirement age. So just keep that in mind. I know I'm looking at that because one day I'm probably going to work for a little bit longer after the age of 67, just to kind of give myself a cushion, take care of any expenses I might have. And, that's going to be my thought process, and something for you to think of too. I'm trying to think, is there anything else to share with you, at least right now? No, but I think each time we meet, I just kind of, please don't think I'm harping on things. I probably am a little bit. But if you haven't started your 401k, your whatever vehicle that you have at work to put money away, make sure you start doing that. And again, we don't care if you start low, because remember I told you, I don't remember what year it was or anything like that, but I was kind of on the broke side. But I knew I had to put money away, and I knew that my employer would match it at a certain amount. So even though I was broke, I put that first one I put down was 5%. Okay. And it comes out of your paycheck before you even know it. It's pre-taxed. So once that money comes out, then taxes hit it, and then it creates your net income. So if you haven't started, please don't say, but I can't afford it. You can't afford not to. Please don't be that dear sweet 73-year-old man who's just beside himself because his $3,200 isn't enough for he and his wife for their expenses every month. It's not. Think about it, $3,200 for everything. So food, shelter, utilities. You have no backup because you aren't putting away any little bit for savings. So that's all he has to live on. And I know I can't do it. 32. No, it couldn't happen. And so ask yourselves, how would you fare if you only had $3,200 a month? It probably wouldn't be very good. And just like that gentleman. So please, whatever you do, start today, start now. start with something. It's just coming from a place of love. I have been there, and I want to see you do better than the way I started. Just start something somewhere now. Okay? I so enjoy talking to you guys. And just remember, there's going to be a certain point, I don't know when, I'll get it all figured out, where I'd love to hear from you. See how you're doing, hear what you might be struggling with. We might be able to help you. You might be able to help us. That's what this is about, give and take. And I'm so grateful for our time together because it helps me to talk about it. It helps me to keep on track. And I come from a training background. So for me to share this with you and for you to share with me is wonderful. And I really appreciate the time. So again, thank you so much for joining us for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. And we'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.